Welcome to this unit's best practices video for 5th grade. You will get a glimpse of what you can expect to see and hear in mathematics classrooms for this unit. What do you notice? Hopefully you've noticed that these are different ways to show 2/3. There's an example of an area model, set model, and linear model. Students could be using any of these during this unit to help them find equivalent fractions and add and subtract fractions. Here are the 2 key learning goals related to the 2 benchmarks for this unit. These key learning goals are from the STEMscopes parent letter. Just like last year, students are adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, including mixed numbers and fractions greater than 1. Since fractions have unlike denominators, they are still finding those common denominators using the strategies listed on the slide. Also, like last year, students are solving real-world problems involving addition and subtraction of fractions. What should we see in the classroom to help students achieve these goals? Here are 2 snippets from the STEMscopes Explorers. We should see students using manipulatives, drawings, equations, and estimation to find common denominators. Students are using and connecting these concrete and representational models, which again can include linear models, set models, and area models, to move on to more efficient strategies like finding partial sums, where they're adding the wholes together and adding the fractional parts together. Although students should be getting more efficient as the unit goes on, procedural fluency with adding and subtracting fractions is not expected until 6th grade. These can all show MTRs, or mathematical thinking and reasoning standards, 1, 2, 3, 5, or 7, since they are representing the fractions in different ways and noticing the patterns to become more efficient in finding common denominators in order to solve problems. While students are building their own understanding throughout this unit, the teacher or students could be asking questions like these STEMscopes Math Chat questions. These types of questions will encourage students to think critically about what they're doing and make sense of their work with fractions. For example, this last question can help students notice that you can multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number to find equivalent fractions. This can demonstrate MTR 4, since students are in a discussion to reflect on their thinking and the thinking of their classmates. Or MTR 5, since students are looking for patterns to understand adding and subtracting fractions. As students participate in classroom discussions, we should hear students using vocabulary words such as these ones from the STEMscopes parent letter. This is a unit on adding and subtracting fractions, so these words can help students be more specific when explaining their thinking. Throughout the unit of study, we should see multiple opportunities for students to show their understanding of the content. So that could be students showing their work in their journal during the Explorers, following up with the Show What You Know, playing a Fluency Builder game, or even playing one of the STEMscopes interactive games. These activities give the teacher opportunities to informally assess the student's understanding, and they can demonstrate MTRs 1, 2, 3, or 7, since students are representing their models in multiple ways, connecting their learning to the real world, and getting more efficient with adding and subtracting fractions. Here are 2 questions that teachers, administrators, or parents could ask the students to gauge their understanding, and these came from the benchmark or standard pages on SmartSmarts. Students' explanations could demonstrate MTR 1 or 4, since these questions would encourage students to reflect on their own thinking and how they go about solving problems with fractions. We want students to continue their learning at home. These are 2 activities from the tic-tac-toe board on the STEMscopes parent letter. For the first activity, students are looking at a recipe and using a model to add the fractional recipe amounts together. For the second activity, students are looking around the house for examples of fractions. Then they are choosing 2 fractions to estimate and find the sum or difference. These could demonstrate MTR 1 or 7, since students are participating in effortful learning and connecting it to the real world. Hopefully this video gave you a better idea of what you would see and hear in the classroom while students are adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. See you next time!